sphere on her Cowboy Carter tour, and below is a photo of the actual sphere located in Las Vegas. Now, Beyonce and her team have yet to respond to these allegations of the cease and desist being served to them. Something tells me they're not going to address the public. They're simply going to cut this scene out of the Cowboy Carter tour and keep it moving.
Hey girl, you hearing this mess? So, Beyonce's now in the hot seat. Again, word on the street is she's being slapped with a lawsuit claiming she jacked ideas from creatives for her Cowboy Carter tour. And this ain't no small check. People talking about a lawsuit worth millions. Yup, it's getting wild real quick. But listen, don't think Beyonce's gonna just sit back quiet. You know she can be real slick and petty when she claps back. Before we get to the court drama, we gotta rewind to night 2 of the tour, because that's when things really started spinning out of control. But let's be honest, this whole mess might have started from night 1. The tour kicked off with back-to-back performances that were straight up chaotic. Folks saw tech flops, scary stage slips, and crew members running around like they ain't know what was going on. Something was clearly off behind the scenes. Now let's talk Texas, because Beyonce might be the queen, but even queens get dragged when the drama's this deep. Her Cowboy Carter tour might be crushing it on the charts and selling out stadiums, but allegedly, behind the glitter and glam, it's pure disaster. We got whispers about last-minute changes, folks quitting, tech fails, and now somebody's bold enough to send her a cease and desist. To her full government name, too. This ain't just tour drama anymore, this looking like full-on legal smoke. So the real question is, how did we even end up in this mess? Let's break it all down. Okay, so let's break it down. What really happened on night 2 of Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour in LA? Night 1 had the crowd lit. People were raving like it was a masterpiece. But night 2? Totally different vibe. If you thought it was all smooth sailing, think again. Because what went down that night is exactly what triggered this massive lawsuit against the Queen herself. People who were there said it was chaos with a capital C. And TikTok? Baby, it exploded with behind-the-scenes tea. Fans have been dropping clips left and right, saying the vibes inside SoFi Stadium were off from the jump. But here's the real kicker. Beyonce's team was reportedly scrambling hours before the show even started. Word is they were rehearsing up until 6 in the morning trying to fix last-minute issues. That's how intense the pressure was. And when that curtain finally rose, things still didn't go as planned. Don't get it twisted. Beyonce showed up with vocals, star power, flawless outfits, and that signature queen energy. But all that shine couldn't hide the technical chaos bubbling underneath. The woman performed for nearly 3 hours, pushing through 36 songs while pulling off the craziest stunts on stage. At one point, she was literally riding a mechanical bull while singing Tyrant. Then she got lifted high above the crowd in a glowing horseshoe during daddy lessons. And y'all, she was even floating in a car during 16 carriages. Like, who else doing that? But despite the glitter and glam, folks could tell something was off. The lights were blinding, but the behind-the-scenes mess? Louder than ever. It was giving stress, confusion, and pure backstage panic. And now it's all catching up to her in court. Now let's talk about the chaos that went down on that stage, because it was a mess. First off, the visuals on that massive screen started glitching, like someone forgot to pay the Wi-Fi bill. Whole sections were just frozen, especially during the Renaissance set. Folks in the crowd were looking around like, wait, is this part of the show? It had the Renaissance era looking like it caught a virus, stuttering, lagging, just throwing the whole vibe off. But you know Beyonce wasn't going to take that L in silence, especially not after night one had her shutting down all that she fell off talk, even proving 50 Cent wrong during I'm That Girl. But on night two, baby, she hit center stage, and nothing happened. Dead silence. The silver stars that were supposed to roll out and elevate the moment? Gone. Missing in action. You could see the confusion on her face. She stood there, waiting, then just had to push through it like a pro. But trust, it threw her off. And it gets worse. During Cozy, right in the comfortable in my skin part, Beyonce looked visibly shaken. Not in a playful way, but like she was trying to figure out where the hell she was supposed to go. Word is the crew forgot to mark her position on stage. You know how serious that is? Those marks are there to keep her safe, because she was surrounded by actual robotic arms flying around with platforms and lights and everything. And no joke, Beyonce almost got smacked by one of those swinging mechanical beasts. Like, y'all? That could have been tragic. Somebody definitely lost their job that night. The tech that night? Straight up unhinged. In the footage, you can literally see Beyonce looking down, scanning the ground mid-performance like she's trying to dodge something. At one point, she even threw her hands up like she was bracing for impact. Imagine the queen of the stage looking shook. That's how wild it got. And fans with eagle eyes caught something else. Beyonce was clutching her mic during scenes where she was clearly supposed to be hands-free. Like, sis was supposed to be dancing or handling props, but instead she's adjusting in real time, switching it up on the fly. That's not the polished Beyonce we know. Something was seriously off script. And let's be real, why didn't they just pin a mic on her? That's basic stuff for a show this massive. Now here's where it gets even messier. The dancers. Girl, on night one, they were turning looks in golden suits during the Renaissance segment, all glam and flawless. But by night two, the wardrobe was looking real, unfinished. They were missing costume pieces, especially up top, and people in the crowd started whispering like, wait, is this some stripped-down remix? Or did they just mess up? Spoiler alert, they messed up. Dancers were caught on camera literally sprinting mid-performance, like they just got called out for being late to class. It was giving total disarray. And the worst part? One of the dancers got hurt. Bad. During the ballroom segment, she stumbled hard, and the way she hit the floor looked painful as hell. Later, she took to IG, and you could feel the pain through her words. She posted, "To say that I'm devastated to have injured myself at show 2 would be the understatement of the century." The girl was clearly heartbroken. Oh, and don't even forget the pit drama. After fans complained about the bad views from night 1, people were already on edge. But night 2? That just made it worse. So they tried to fix the view complaints by moving the honeypot pits closer to the stage. Sounds smart, right? Nope. The stage is 7 feet high, so now folks in the front were stuck cranking their necks just to catch a glimpse. For some, it actually made things worse. There was even talk that the stage had to be raised higher to fix the mess. Still, Beyonce stayed in full Queen Bee mode. She didn't flinch, didn't fold, she just delivered. That's why people were walking out saying night 2 might have been even better than night 1. The setup may have been crumbling, but she turned it into a whole experience. That's the power she brings. And yes, Beyonce made some serious changes between the 2 nights. New sections, updated visuals, fresh transitions. It wasn't a copy-paste show. She even added fan favorites like Irreplaceable and Single Ladies, trimmed down some outros, and brought back the iconic Renaissance scream. And fans loved every second of it. Oh, and the real moment that had people emotional? Blue Ivy. When I tell you that girl lit up the whole stadium, she ate and left no crumbs. The way she commanded that stage had folks in the crowd tearing up. It was powerful. Listen, when Blue Ivy stepped out, it was a wrap. She hit that stage like, "Don't forget who my mama is." The confidence? Unmatched. The presence? Powerful. She didn't just walk out there. She owned it like a mini queen in training. From those early baby steps in rehearsals to now straight up dominating the spotlight, Blue is no longer just Beyoncé's daughter. This is officially the Blue Ivy Show too. She 1 minus 9, 5 plus 3, 6 plus 2. She's 8, 8, 8, 8 down. That girl didn't miss a single beat. You could see it in the way she moved. Her rhythm, her timing, the way she hit them counts so clean. Like, it's in her blood. Of course it is. She grew up watching rehearsals from stadium sidelines and learning the game straight from the best. Her crash course? Literal world tours with Beyonce and Jay-Z. Now she's earning her own spotlight, her own screams from the crowd, and her own place in music history. Not gonna lie, I got emotional. Like, that's the internet's niece right there. But wait, it didn't stop with Blue. Rumi Carter popped out too. Yup, little sis made her debut and completely melted hearts. The way she ran out with all that joy, like, finally, my turn. It was the cutest moment of the whole night. Rumi was bouncing, hyped, glowing with excitement. She hugged Beyonce like she'd been dreaming of this moment forever. And honestly, that was her official superstar moment, her soft launch, her intro into the legacy. This wasn't just a concert, it was Beyonce's legacy unfolding live right in front of us. Generational greatness, y'all. This ain't just about talent, it's about legacy. Watching Blue and Rumi on stage beside their mama wasn't just a cute moment. It was straight-up history. And not just black excellence, this was generational greatness. Beyonce's not out here just raising little performers, she's raising powerful young queens who already know how to shine on their own. That's a flex no one can touch. And even though Sir Carter didn't make an appearance in person, Beyonce still had him waving through the screen, because every one of her babies is part of this movement. Say what you want about B, but when it comes to motherhood, she shows up every time. That's that mama bear energy in full effect. Honestly, that might be the real reason why so many fans swear Night 2 hit harder than Night 1. Because through all the tech fails and behind-the-scenes chaos, Beyonce kept showing heart. And let's not forget, this woman has never been one to half-step. We're talking about the same person who micromanaged backup dancers while pregnant, then dropped a whole Netflix doc showing how she trained like an Olympic athlete just to serve us 2 hours of non-stop Coachella greatness. So, if Night 2 was even slightly off? You know Mama B marched backstage ready to shut it down and reset everything for Night 3. She's not here to play, she's here to dominate. But here's the twist. What really has the streets talking is that lawsuit. Yup, it's not just backstage drama anymore. A cease and desist just popped up, and it's linked to this one insane moment during the Cowboy Carter visuals. Beyonce appears as a massive goddess-level version of herself walking through the Las Vegas skyline. And then, pause for the drama, she bends down. So picture this. Beyonce, towering over the Vegas skyline in her concert visuals, casually scoops up the real-life Las Vegas sphere like it's just a cute little souvenir. Holds it up like, "This mine now." The crowd lost their minds, TikTok exploded, and for a second, people were whispering, "Is she about to announce a Vegas residency?" But not everyone was clapping. The Sphere's owners heated. According to a sharp-as-blades letter from Madison Square Garden Entertainment's legal team, Beyonce and her company, Parkwood Entertainment, are now hit with a cease and desist. Yup, they're saying she jacked the Sphere's image and used it without any green light. And this wasn't no soft warning. It was a big-time, high-powered, lawyered-up situation. They straight up said the Sphere was prominently featured, digitally manipulated, and used without authorization. Period. The New York Post dropped the full tea, reporting that since Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour kicked off on April 28th, fans have been sharing clips of the now viral visual where she literally lifts the Sphere mid-show like a goddess claiming her city. And CEO James Dolan? Oh, he's not having it. His attorney, Kathleen McCarthy, came swinging, accusing Beyonce's team of impermissible use and violating the Sphere Entertainment Group's intellectual rights. And now, they're demanding the video be completely removed from the show. It's wild because what looked like a flex of power turned into full-on legal smoke. Beyonce might have been holding the Sphere like a trophy, but now it's looking like the Sphere might clap back in court. So, what's next for Queen Bey? Is she gonna fight it, cut the visual, or go even bigger? Either way, this tour just turned legendary for a whole different reason. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts down below. Catch you in the next one. So here's the legal tea. Sphere Entertainment Group isn't just mad about visuals. They're saying Beyoncé's use of their iconic structure sparked major speculation that she's ending her tour with a Vegas residency, and they're not feeling that at all. But if you're sitting there like, wait, hasn't this kind of drama happened before? Yup, this ain't Beyoncé's first copyright rodeo. She's been called out before for visuals, choreo, even fashion that fans and critics say might have been inspired by others without a proper sign-off. The copyright heat? She's felt it before. But still, the hive feels like this time might be extra dramatic. Here's where things get spicy. The Sphere team was especially annoyed because Beyoncé has never performed at the venue and allegedly hasn't even stepped foot inside. They said her visuals were misleading and fired up false rumors that she'd be wrapping the tour with a Sphere residency, which they claim is just not happening. So what did they do? Gave Beyoncé's team a hard deadline, remove the video by Monday, period. And let's keep it real. When a billion-dollar venue comes for a global icon, that's big egos and burnt bridges on both sides. And y'all already know, you're never gonna corner Beyoncé, not without a fight. Fans were on edge, waiting to see if she'd back down or if Parkwood would come swinging with receipts and legal clapbacks about creative rights. But then came Monday, and Beyoncé made her move, in silence, of course. That's her style. According to The Hollywood Reporter, that controversial visual, nowhere to be seen during Sunday's show. That was day 3. No Sphere scoop, no goddess flex. Was it a quiet fix? A power play? One thing's for sure. This drama is far from over. Here's what the article said. Beyoncé has officially replaced that viral Sphere visual in her Cowboy Carter tour, just days after getting slapped with a cease and desist. The original clip? It showed a giant Beyoncé casually picking up the high-tech Vegas Sphere like a toy. But during her third show, her Thrive Night at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, she swapped it out for Allegiant Stadium, the same place she's set to perform in July. Oh, now that's a clapback. And the way she did it? Seamless. No announcement, no mess. Just a quiet power move that had the whole internet watching. But before y'all start picking sides, let's rewind real quick, because this beef might go way deeper than copyright claims. Word on the Vegas Strip is that Beyoncé and the Sphere were actually in serious talks last year about locking in a massive residency. Think next-level visuals, cutting-edge tech, a full Beyoncé-sized spectacle. But the deal reportedly fell apart after she allegedly asked for 2 full weeks of solo venue access to rehearse and requested a $10 million production budget, similar to what U2 got. The Sphere allegedly said, nah. And just like that, the whole thing crumbled. So now, months later, Beyoncé drops a tour visual casually scooping the Sphere like it's her city. But there's no actual partnership in place. Is this really about visuals and intellectual property? Or is it a sour deal turned public? Because let's be honest, it's giving petty. And you know what? That's okay, especially since the Sphere isn't even hosting her tour. Beyoncé kept it moving, swapped the footage, and didn't say a word. But the message was clear. So Beyoncé's booked at Allegiant Stadium, just 4 miles from the Sphere. And the irony? That's like throwing the biggest party in town next door to your ex's house, then using their house on the invite. The shade is wild, but it's deeper than a quick visual. Sphere Entertainment wants everything wiped. No Sphere imagery on merch, promos, or even potential tour films. Yup, they're already bracing for the Cowboy Carter concert movie, even though it hasn't been confirmed. And let's be real, we need that Cowboy Carter doc. What's crazy? The Sphere hasn't even been killing it in sales. Beyoncé showing it off could have been free promo. But nope, they fumbled the bag over pride. Now they're in full "don't use our venue" mode. Still, Beyoncé kept it cute. She pivoted quick, kept the tour rolling, and Dolan got his Sphere removed. Fair enough. But here's the real question. Is this actual beef, or just a salty exec mad over a deal that fell through? Because from here, it's giving ghosted energy with a side of bruised ego. Like, would you try to flex on Beyoncé? This feels like money versus legacy, and the math just ain't mathin'. Anyway, the Cowboy Carter era is packed with more drama than a Shonda finale. Lawsuits, tech fails, last-minute chaos, and now this petty legal twist? So, what do y'all think? Did Beyoncé do too much? Or are the Sphere folks just mad she didn't sign on the dotted line? Now, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.